We don't have a public hearing, so we're gonna close it. We're gonna go right in and deliberate and consider action on the following items. Item number one, discuss and consider authorizing GLS to advertise for construction bids for the GLO CDBG Regional MIT Program Community Shelter, GLO contract number 24-065-038-E530. We got Mr. Pat here.
Y'all know, y'all have been back and forth, GLO on kitchen. And of course, they came back and said that, no, we're not gonna pay for the equipment in the kitchen. That was the latest letter. That the county would pay for the equipment. So, that being said, the only really change that they have to make on the bid package is we'll have a separate grouping of bid items for that equipment. So the contractor turns into bids, they'll have a separated bid just for those items. The rest of it, the access road, the building, parking, all the remaining items on the bill, they'll put in still part of the same process.
Yeah.
It'll just be separated.
Okay.
And looking at hopefully about a month, bid it, just given the size of the project, like contractors a while to prepare the bids, get the pricing. But y'all authorized to go to bids today, probably the first day.
We're thinking next Wednesday, October 8th, got to add in the paper, running again on the 15th. Open bids November 5th. Allow us to get on top of that and just first before being there in November. The one that's at the second week in November.
You say you pay, you talk about the ball one in price?
And we'll also put them on tip CAD and everything on that. By law, we got to go to the newspaper.
So
I would think that November 5th. Sorry, Ned. I would think that November 5th is probably going to be the early.
okay.
What we'll do is when we kind of lay out with the our architect, the best timing, I'll make sure that I email tell them the actual day and time, if it varies.
How long are we gonna, the bid's gonna run?
I mean, like I said, on a project this size, I would run it about a month from first ad in the paper. Wouldn't go any less than that, not on something like this.
So by the first of the year, first of 26, we ought to be looking at selecting who we gonna.
Well, actually, I kind of know, weather permitting that they're about to start work. Because we open bids, say,
In early November.
in early November, early to mid-November. It'll take them about a month to get bond, get mobilized. So I'll think about the first of the year and we starting. Fortunately, we got a sandy side and it's on a hill.
Let's give it a groundbreaking.
Yeah. He would definitely schedule groundbreaking ceremony. So I'll make a motion that we authorize GLS to advertise for construction bids for the GLO CDBG Regional MIT Program Community Shelter.
Second.
All right, motion made by me, second by Commissioner Hobson. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? All right. Item number 2 is discuss and consider taking action to transfer funds collected from the sale of the mechanics truck to precinct 3 fund 023681649. It's $129,970. These funds will be used to purchase a new boom mower. And
And that was a 2018, and that later I got rid of it. It had outriggers, you know, when it was so slow to put down and everything. In 2018, I think debt service pretty well paid for everything at that time. And when I sold it, I owed 142,000 on it. So we paid that. It's paid off. That's what I was just asking for that money because it didn't come out of, you know, debt service.
We did.
Now, debt service paid for everything for precinct 1, 2, 3, and 4 at that time. It didn't pay for this.
You didn't pay for the maintenance truck, mechanic truck?
No, when I sold, actually,
the excavator. he had-
mechanic truck come out of general fund.
That's what we asked. Mechanic truck, right?
Not general fund. Oh, yeah, road bridge.
Or road and bridge, yeah.
General. 20.
But
No, I'm
The,
talking about the one I had,
the excavator mower that he had, it had a balloon note on it of what,
2,000.
142,000.
We didn't pay for that.
We
No,
did.
what-
He had to pay the
We
last
paid the
payment.
note, then he paid that back, right?
Yeah, when we sold it, I still owed 142,000.
Yeah, I didn't know we had paid. Well, so hold on, so,
It's gonna be paid back.
yeah, so we paid $142,000 note, and then the money that was collected in the sale was 160, so 142 of that will go back into road bridge general.
Sorry, then.
Sorry, that. So that remaining 20,000 you get, right, Prince?
Right.
And you're asking for money.
Well, I had to pay I paid a greater note, truck note, and the side boom note out of my budget when I first got in office. It didn't come out debt service.
Yep, it wasn't no 2018, was it?
Huh?
It wasn't in 2018. What year did you come in?
21.
2021. That's what I said. It was a 2018 that I got rid of it. And at that time, everything come out of debt service. At that time, debt service paid for the equipment,
Right.
but it didn't pay for this one.
Yeah, I didn't understand why I didn't pay for that.
That's wrong. We don't have to that money in there. When we stopped debt services for that last payment was paid off. That's
The
why I
balloon
did
payment.
that. Yeah. It didn't pay off. So it was-
I paid mine off too when I said,
I mean, I'm just saying, I paid mine.
I get yours, I'm gonna pay for it too.
Oh, we got to set it up on note card.
Right.
Well, there's 3 notes left on that after this year, right? Say 42,000.
You talking about yours? Yes.
So I told him he could have it, take up the note, and we'll bring it forward.
I don't know. What you're doing. Okay.
We're just gonna let him take the note over. Got to bring it forward court, right?
We can change that. I mean, we can transfer it. It doesn't have to be,
Right.
it's just from one precinct to the other. We're not selling it.
Right.
So that, you don't have to, we just look at this precinct. I just have to know it.
I got paid this year, though, December.
So when is he taking it?
January, I mean, you want to take it now, but what we're responsible, so. I paid the second note. Right?
So this money right here, what you're gonna pay with it, I mean, is that what you're
Well,
going to pay? Work with this money?
I did pay it off.
Yeah, but we split everything on that truck. Ain't we? I know you wasn't in office, but this probably was. That's just my opinion.
Is your opinion good as mine?
Now, I did get the tools off of that truck. But just what I was told, I don't know this to be the case, I was told precinct 3, all of the tools that weren't on that truck. He told me that. He said, I bought all the tools on the truck. We didn't do that as a group. He said, they ain't being used to get them. And I did. So certainly I feel like at least 4,000, whatever my share would be, certainly belongs to precinct 3. I don't have any real strong feelings one way or the other.
Well, it say here, these funds will be used to purchase a new boom mower, so you're gonna get the boom mower, right? So you pay, gonna be able to pay 2 notes on
Yeah,
it.
that's paying 84,000 for it. We used it and we loaned it out to you know. I think it's a good deal with precinct 30. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a very good deal.
And he wants to use these funds to pay the mower off. Instead of paying the notes, is that right?
Right.
So,
Well, I think so the rub here is the equal shares going to each precinct. And, you know, where I'm at with it, I've got for 3 pieces of equipment, I got a $58,000 note each month. Each year going forward for 5 years. And I knew that when I bought it, but, guess for me personally, $32,000, a little bit over 32,000. It's not going to get me out of the hump or get me over the hump. It's not going to change a whole lot to me. I'm still going to have a $58,000 note. And I'm not trying to do anything just like with the maintainer. I felt like I was very generous. Instead of putting that out there on the open market and selling it to the world, felt like it was better off to belong to the taxpayers, sell to you for a really good price. That money comes back to precinct 4. And I have no problem foregoing my share of the mechanic's truck, help precinct 3. I think it sends the right message to all the people we have out there. I may need that move mower one day. It'll be there if I do.
I just don't know where my cut is.
Hey, I bless you for the dozer.
Where's my cut?
I let the preacher board.
General fund didn't get no cut of that. No, I'm just joking. But basically, we need a motion, to transfer funds collected from sale of mechanics truck to precinct 3 fund 023-681-649 in the amount of $129,970 for the purchase of a boom mower.
I'll make that motion.
I'd like to say this before we vote on it. We got several pieces of equipment that we all agreed in together on, and we need to, maybe a workshop might be a place to do it. I don't know where the proper place to do it, but we need to have an agreement because, you know, in order for all of us to be on the same thought process of our shared equipment, you need to already have that understanding. I think that's what preacher was referring to, is that whenever we purchase these pieces of that equipment, we all had to agree to it and vote on it. So whenever we dispense that equipment, we need to already have in place a process that we return it back to all 4 or whatever, you know, going forward. Saying that I'd like to see us, because it put pressure on us. I'm willing to share. I want all of us to be successful in what we need to do, but we need to have a common understanding. I think we pretty much have one. Just that I want instead of, whenever court, we see that on the docket or whatever, we already have an understanding because we all read, that's what I'd like to see going forward. Is that possible?
Yes.
I think we did have one of those workshops and it was enlightening to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, even if we did it quarterly or, every 6 months, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it all belongs to the taxpayer.
Right.
And since I've been on court, I have not had anybody tell me I couldn't use a piece of equipment. You guys hauled material for me, worked well with me. So we have a roller that all 4 precincts own part of it. We have a trailer that all 4 precincts own part of it.
Okay, let me just ask a question.
We need a grinder.
Clarity. So on this $129,970, they're wanting to transfer to the precinct, wanting to pay off the existing piece of equipment that's in precinct 1. Is that correct? Which would be a payoff of $126,000, a little over $126,000 right now.
Right.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to make sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that paid off. National.
It ain't fast yet.
In my mind, but that's what y'all are wanting to do.
Well, one thing about that, we did vote on. I had that mower for 6 to 8 weeks in 2024. I didn't have a boom mower. Brother Danny sent that boom mower down there. We used it for a couple of months. It got us out of the bind, so I appreciate that.
I'm here to help. I mean,
Yeah.
Just move on, so.
I'm all for helping precincts get out of a bind, but I want y'all to remember when I get in the bind, somebody better help me.
Well, I'm gonna be in a bind.
We're
I'm gonna be in a bind every January. $58,000, pretty good lick.
I know,
That's an employee.
yes.
All right,
You gotta have equipment.
we had the motion made by Commissioner Powell. Do we get a second? I'll go ahead and second. All in favor?
I'm gonna go in, sometimes, low man on totem pole, I'm gonna go with.
Okay, all against?
Appreciate it.
All right. Item number 3, discuss and consider taking action to return oversight and management of floodplain administrator to the county judge. And
So I put that on there, Judge. So what I was, thinking when that, I think in 2018, but we know in 2018, the court took that over. It seemed to work well, but what I'm seeing is we have a potential, the way the thing is set up is we have a potential for the court to get caught up in an illegal form. I know the ill intention of the floodplain administrator because that person is trying to get help to get things done, and that person could call 3 of us, try to get us to get the help, and we could be agreeing to the same thing. We could get ourselves in a bind. So whether it's I think I'm not trying to take the power away from the court to manage the floodplain. I probably wrote that wrong. What I would like to see is the court set up a primary contact to where the floodplain administrator doesn't contact anyone arbitrarily. The court establishes, hey, this is the primary contact for the CFM to help you get issues resolved, and the court to maintain hiring and firing and all the administrative powers. That's what I was thinking. And Tina, if the court would permit, I mean, Tina, is that what you need in this?
The vote. All we're discussing, and us announcing, we have no forum, and that's my concern. I mean, somebody I could go to, and now if it's a real issue, then I'm just referring it to commissioner's court. But if it's something simple, I just need a contact person to go to, say, okay, at least give me your opinion, your feedback on this, what do you think we should do? Or if I have an issue, maybe needs to go. But somewhere there needs to be contact where I feel like I'm not disseminating information which could cause some, something bad to happen later down the road as far as discussion on it.
Well, under the FEMA guidelines, the county judge and the city mayors are the designated floodplain manager until, something else is done. So, if you need one point of contact, it could be me or, me or Courtney, but, we work hand in hand. And so, if you need any point of contact, you come to me with it.
And I know that's how it originally set up, but when the court took it away from the county judge's office, then that changed everything, because then it put it in the quarantine. I was here when that happened. And so then that changed everything. Because originally I was a floodplain administrator with the county judge in that office. But when the court took it over, it took it completely out of our office, out of our complete control. And that was the only problem when there's four that needs to be, I understand the court's over it. And they've found the person who appoints the floodplain administrator, there needs to be a contact on that report, so we can also create an illegal form. When there's an issue, we can let it come before the court and commission. Or we hold a workshop.
Yeah.
Something that I'd like to see on that is.
You think?
They said stop doing this, please. They said it, not me.
Oh, my.
Can I ask a question? I was under a thought that both of you was floodplain. Did I miss something, or are you both still operating floodplain?
Maybe or not.
No change from the court's decision, has there?
Well, I think the only thing that's changed is the judge changed that in 26, right? So currently that's the case, but in 26, changed that now to where you got one CFM and you got your EMC. I had to get my acronyms right. Your EMC is also getting some of that SRA money to help during a catastrophe or whatever.
Yes, if there's a flood in Duville, he'll be down there on site. Of course, he'll be there anyway because he's fire chief, but emergency manager, but he will be taking whoever out in boats. He will be directing that. So that was part of that, or anywhere else in the county that they need to go to. So Mark will be the one doing it. So
So this line item is really today or tomorrow. It's, to get us out of that pickle of potentially being in an illegal form and not even realizing it. Because, if the CFM calls three of us, if we don't even know, we may not even know she's called. We may be voting by proxy over phone and not even know we're doing it. So this would give us, if the CFM calls one of us, we could say, well, have you talked to your primary contact about it? And just bring it to court, or something like that. But, so that's why I put it in.
The item said you're gonna give it to the judge, right? 3 said.
So,
yeah, and that's according to the FEMA guidelines, county judge and the city mayor is a floodplain administrator, designated by FEMA. So basically it's just returning it back to the county's portion back to me. To where if she needs a point of contact, with Tina and Courtney still doing their things, but if they need a point of contact, I'll be the point of contact for the county.
What's my legal advice? Say,
So I'm a little confused about exactly what, I think you're talking about one thing, you're talking about another thing. Because what you're asking for is for everybody to agree on what contract, with everything saying this. On the, and I can't remember the name of the document, but the document where, it's the floodplain plan, essentially. I can't remember what the title was. But in that plan is where the county, the commissioner's board, agreed and said that the floodplain administrator would be, so it's in a document. And that y'all, or whoever back in the day, agreed to enact. So for the purposes of that plan, the floodplain administrators are, well, no, the floodplain administrators are the commissioner's court as a whole. And then y'all there authorized for, to be your delegate, it's delegate that for them to do it for, day to day. So I think the question is, what action are y'all about? Are y'all about to take? This is that this line item, I think, is meaning something different to you than it is to you. So I think it depends on who makes the motion and what the motion says. Because are you asking that the floodplain document be changed to say that the county judge is now the floodplain administrator? That's what I'm understanding you to say. Is that your intent? For your request?
Well, yes, basically, to get it out of the court's hand, to put it under,
Right. So that's what you would request.
yes.
What you're requesting is different. Your motion, I'm guessing, it would be,
Well, let me make.
okay, let's agree.
Let me, so what I'm proposing is that we designate the judge as the primary contact / lead / supervisor over the CFMs in that program. And then allow the court to support the program as the governing body, as they have since 18. So
So that's your intent. And yours is a little different from what I understand.
Okay, well,
You can do it either way.
I know. You know, yeah, I was reading the, as, giving it back to the county judge, which I have no problem with either way.
Either way is fine. What y'all agree.
And I didn't write it, I didn't write it exactly what I should have. So what I was trying to say is, you be the boss on a day in and day out, and the court will support you. And, if you say, we got one CFM, you say, we need 2, we need 3, we need 100, whatever. You come to the court and say, hey, I feel like we need this, and we all talk about it, move in a direction. That way it don't all fall on your shoulders from the blame game, and we can support you. And that was my intent, but more importantly is to get a person that can make the day-to-day call shots for CFMs. And that was what I was thinking.
Okay.
But I'm open. I mean, I don't.
Hey, I'm good with it either way.
But I tell you what, I do think, if the court is going to maintain responsibility and accountability, we need updates, no less than quarterly updates, and maybe even once a month to begin with, and then we move out to quarterly, what have you. And I'm talking about the CFM.
Maybe on the agenda. So I couldn't get that. But be on the agenda. I think it's good, but without it on the agenda, I can't.
But I think it's just, it's in all fairness, if we're going to be accountable and responsible and help the judge in that area, come before us on some frequency and say, here's your quarterly report, and we can look at it and go, moving in the right direction, Judge. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. We got you back.
We need to do like we did that tower in my backyard. and reoccurred once a month. Oh, might be.
If it needs to get sorted, I agree with that. Because this floodplain management's huge. Huge. So, Court, let's see if I could, I'm gonna make a motion, and you could outline. So I'm gonna make the motion to designate county judge as the primary contact, day-to-day lead to oversee floodplain management in Newton County with the Commissioner's Court maintaining overall responsibility and accountability.
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Powell, second by Commissioner Hobson, all in favor? All against? All right. Item number 4, approval of intent to apply for,
Before we leave that, did you have a comment, Ms. Lynn?
The person that was open had to be certified.
no,
For sure.
Yes.
Just check on
It's
it.
not for- It's up to, yeah, it's not a legal.
So there's no kind of floodplain certification.
So
There
this,
is a certification. It's, if the court wants to establish that as have to be certified to be eligible for that position, they can do that, but it's not a legal requirement.
so as I understand it, the governing body is a floodplain administrator. The certified floodplain manager is a CFM. They're two different positions. You know, your county judge, commissioner's court, mayor, whoever does not have to go and take all the testing to become a certified floodplain manager. They're the administrator. They're saying, hey, we're going to hire you to be our CFM. And Tina is going to test this week. And
Courtney, are you gonna retest?
well, the judge made that decision. He and Courtney, when he did the budget for next year, he said, hey, you're doing enough as you are in this position. I want you to focus on this. She's gonna do that. Mark's gonna help her. So that's, yeah. And you, as a primary contact, you continue to do this. I'm sorry, I just didn't want.
so where we at here? Oh, 4, okay. Approval of intent to apply for the Texas Indigent Defense Commission, fiscal year 2026 grant. This grant program provides financial and technical support to counties to develop and maintain quality, cost-effective indigent defense systems that meet the goals of local communities and the requirements for the Constitution and state law. You know, this is the, through the state of Texas e-grant system. It's the, basically the grant money helps the county pay for the, indigent lawyers for county and district court, which we're at a bind right now because we have no indigent lawyers for the county.
So, you say that, we have, because I didn't think that was true, because we talked to a couple of the lawyers and they said that they, as far as they're concerned, they're
Well,
still.
As of last, unless we have some chemical, you know,
He's talking about county boards,
A county, not
district.
that's so there's a difference between district.
so
They can elect whether they want to be on the district board.
You're talking just your,
yes.
So I'll make the motion to approve the intent to apply for Texas Indigent Education Grant.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Powell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Benson. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 5, approve extending for 1 year the existing contracts for disaster debris removal services with Red Watson Logging. Now, when they had we had the bids, we had to choose 3 contractors. Courtney, we had a series. yeah, DRC was the number one, they're the number one, contract. All right, Series is number two, we had to pick three, and then Red Watson and Logan is number three. So of those three, say if DRC comes in and needs some help, they can contract with the other two to help with debris removal.
When did we bid that?
Last year, what?
Yeah. Yeah, we had bid proposals from,
Remember when?
it had to be close to a year ago because
Yeah, because this is before hurricane season.
And I'm just wondering about the 1 year extension. Right? So we're good for a 1 year extension.
yes. And then after next year, we'll have to go out for bids. After the 1 year, well, before it expires, we'll have to go out for bids again for all of them.
I believe, Commissioner White, myself was on that committee.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the 1 year. Have we passed the 1 year? Actually, has that bid expired? Or are we still within the 1 year and we're good to extend it? I just wanted to make sure that we got our ducks in a row on the, I don't want to be sitting here and that thing, it was expired in July, that's extend a contract that's already expired. That wouldn't be good, right? Or would it?
Right, yeah, the contract. I don't know the exact date, but they weren't signed. So I can't sit here and say, oh, I've looked at it, they have to expire, we're going to extend.
I could go downstairs and look, I took my email.
Okay.
I don't want
What do y'all
to,
want?
I'm against extending the contract if we're legal to do so. I just don't want to be.
Tell you what, I'll just make a motion, we table this
Okay.
until we find out, make sure the contract has not expired, and bring it back on next court meeting.
It'll be 5 and 6, right?
Yeah, so we'll do, 6 the same way, we'll table number, well, I need a motion to table item number 5 until we, check the contract. So I'll make a motion, we table item number 5. And then item number 6 is approved, extending for 1 year the existing contract for disaster debris removal services with Series Environmental Services. So I'll make a motion, we table 5 and 6 until we find out, exactly the date the contracts are expiring.
I second.
All right, I made the motion. Commissioner Benson, second, all in favor? All against? All right, item number 7, receive status update regarding communication tower. All right, Mark.
Judge and Commissioner, appreciate your time and I appreciate your support of what's been going on with the tower and the communication between the Sheriff's Department. Now it's involved fire department. So we've got a little tweaking to do after talking with the radio people and the Sheriff's Department. It's just some tuning issues for the radio from north to south and south to north. But they are able to communicate with dispatch and no matter where they're at. And
Yeah, from any point in the county, the Sheriff's Department has contact.
yes,
Yes.
one thing that it did do when they went digital, which is better than the old, what I say old, not had the right to say. It's what we call analog. And a lot of the fire departments are on analog, but have opportunity to be on digital when we get that capability to them for their mobile and handheld radio. What it did do was that it cut out nuke fire, city nuke fire, city PD. And they need to get the frequency that is digital in their radio put in the radios with the channels that the sheriff's department is using. And I know that's, I'm saying a lot, and there's not many people that understand. Either they're pushing that button to talk on the radio or listening on the radio. It's like I am myself. But it's in the works to get that done. And when this happened, well, let me also say DPS cannot talk out dispatch. So we should be getting before the end of the day what they need to do. And I talked to the sheriff this morning about go to their sergeants and get it to where they can talk to sheriff. So there's some things that I did not know. I might not have asked the right questions, all the right questions. But there are still ways that that's not working for the sheriff's department can still be in touch if we have cell phones. So what the judge and I talked about yesterday, and we had Jody and Tracy here, was a one frequency channel that covers the whole spectrum of the county. And it's called a fire channel. That means that when dispatch needs to talk to the fire department, or the fire department needs to talk to the sheriff's department or anything, they don't have to get on the sheriff department primary to talk to them. There's a lot of traffic that has to take place, and sometimes it overlaps, and the fire department might not hear what Newton's trying to tell them if the sheriff's department is calling sheriff's department. So that can be a life-threatening situation for either or fire department or deputy. So right thing we think we need to do is put a fire channel in our system. We've got quotes on it. I agree with the judge that I think all fire departments need to pony up and fund this. I don't think that it needs to, and I'm speaking as a fireman, I don't think that the county should have to pay for this. I think the fire districts, fire departments, it's the quote that we got is $55,000. Split between 5 fire departments. That's not that much.
Well, 5 fire departments in the city.
Yeah, and the city, including the city. And I've already talked to Landon this morning about what's coming down the pipe. So there's that part of it, which is a plus for the communication within the county. And we also need to look at the commissioner's channel back in service for all of you commissioners, whether you're here today or gone tomorrow or whatever the case. But you commissioners need to be able to talk to your workers when they're out working on the road, or digging the ditch, or changing the culvert out, and y'all haven't heard from them for a while. You need to be able to pick up the radio and speak to that individual or that someone from that group is out to work. That's a safety thing. It's just no different than the deputies being able to talk to dispatch. And so we've got a quote on that. And this will allow y'all to talk to your employees that are working for you and with you. And it will allow y'all to talk from commissioner to commissioner. That's going to be a big thing, in my opinion, when you come up against a natural disaster, whether it be a hurricane, tornado come through your precinct or something like that. He's got the quotes. I think it's a good thing we need to look at, and we need to. I need y'all's help to make it happen. And then me and the judge take care of talking to the fire departments in the city about that fire channel. But I mean, that's where we are. Yeah. The county is, I mean, they're ecstatic about being able to talk to each other. then have to talk to this one. And then we need to take the next step. And also y'all,
Let's see, the new radios and the tower and stuff was unintended, I didn't realize that once we did that, fire department was still on the analog system. So when that come in, they do have, a lot of the radios are dual band,
yes,
to where, they can get programming in, but with a complete, and this will be 4 repeaters, analog system, from Mayflower, Newton, Trout Creek, and Deweyville. That would put a countywide fire channel in to where, if Burkeville needs a tanker from Trout Creek, instead of calling the sheriff department, they can get on the radio and directly talk to Trout Creek about, hey, you need 2 tanker, or need a tanker in a brush truck, whatever. So it frees up the sheriff department channel for a lot of things they can handle on their own.
But currently, the Deweyville Fire Department, okay, and this is a question. Can the Deweyville Fire Department currently communicate Pocket and Trout Creek on the analog channel?
we can.
So you still have your communication, you just can't communicate with the SO dispatch. Is that correct?
We can communicate with that, so dispatch, because we have our own channel. And Trout Creek can, but no other fire department can, because they don't have their own frequency.
So these repeaters you're talking about, he's talking about the fire departments in the city purchasing repeaters. So will the commissioners need a separate repeater, or what? And where I'm going with that is, you got a group of 6 going to purchase the repeaters. If a group of 4 more wanted to jump in there and share that $55,000 cost, could we piggyback on their repeater, or do we need a separate repeater that we're going to have to pay for totally independent?
Thinking you go, now this is me, but I'll ask to verify, but I think in the quote, it has the repeaters for the commissioner, and then it has repeaters for the fire channel.
Yeah. So the repeater is only good for amplifying one channel.
Yeah, we're trying to go
You can't break
the
frequency.
most effective way to go, to less cost.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. There are repeaters that you can pick your back off of, but they get up into the 25, 30, and $50,000. What we're doing here.
Yeah,
They're like 3,000 a piece for the repeaters.
for me, I don't know about the other commissioners, but we have an area around the Wright settlement area. I know over the years that's one from precinct 1 to 4, back and forth. It's a dead zone. We had a storm roll in the other day, and we was all ran back to the shop. I was actually coming back to court and got there. We was missing one employee. He was up on that road, but we made a fine trip up there thinking the worst. We get up there and he's blading the road. There's no rain falling. Because you can't use your cell phone there. We had this radio. We could have called him and said, "Hey Larry, where you at? What's going on?" And he could have said, "I'm blading. It's dry and everything's good here." But, if somebody gets up there and has a medical emergency, God forbid, there's no way for them to communicate. So, man, I'm looking forward to what you're offering there. I precinct, sure.
And it's a big challenge for Buckler and Toledo area. Got the high hills, you got the low valley, and sometimes you can't even get cell phones. So with this repeating system and this channel for the fire department, it'll be a non-issue. It'll be just good, if not better, what the sheriff's department has, and then fire department can stay off of the sheriff's department. Now, there, we have agreed that you still need to, at times, have contact with the sheriff's department. So there will be a few radios. We were talking yesterday, maybe a max of 2, that will have that SO frequency in it if something were to happen with the fire channel. you could still contact the sheriff's department if you need some more.
Well, too, in the fire channel, it will be in the console of the sheriff department, so.
Yeah.
They could talk to on the fire channel. So it just frees up the Newton primary for law enforcement only.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Sherry, do we have any budget amendments?
No, but we do have, flood insurance, we need to pay that. And that is, we deal with on this, general fund, $3,335 for the flood insurance. On precinct 4. It was approved last week before the budget amendment was.
Just we close out that grant.
Yes. So. On payment of bills, we got, so that's the only bill we have. All right, I make a motion that we pay the $3,335 for the flood insurance on our bill.
Second, motion.
All right. Motion made by me, second by Commissioner White. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 9, no. We're adjourning this, I need motion to adjourn. Oh. Okay. All right.